Hey everybody, this is Melina from ScrapbookingWithMe.com and Me Crafty Scrapper here on YouTube and Instagram and also over on Facebook at Me Crafty Scrapper Creates. And today is another episode of M's Scrapbusters Challenge, and we are making tags out of any scraps that we have, any size scraps that we have. And we're also doing a little twist on today's challenge because tags are easy. I know tags are easy. Sometimes I need an easy project to show y'all, you know. So tags are very easy. I do not use tag templates. I've had quite a few ask about what template do you use when you're making your tags. I don't use a template. I just cut a rectangular piece of cardstock and then I clip off the top two corners and go. With these tags that we're making for M Scrapbusters today, I want you to use some of the oldest ephemera die cuts that you have in your stash. So on these tags, don't use anything that you've just bought, you've just gotten Happy Mail, you've just ordered off an online store, whatever. I want you to grab out some of the old stuff. And let's use up some of our old stuff. And then even with your scraps, if you've got some older pieces of scrap, let's use up some of that. And like I said, it does not matter what size the scrap is. We're going to make tags out of, you know, every size scrap. Doesn't have to be the same height. They don't have to be the same width. Nothing. I have also added some stitching to my tags. Now, that's not a requirement in this challenge. You'll get bonus points if you stitch on it. And it doesn't even have to be with a sewing machine. You can just stitch on them by hand, or, you know, use some squiggly lines around and go, hey, look, I stitched. There you go. This is a drawer out of a tower I have over here, and it has some of my oldest die cuts ever. And this is also the fall drawer. So it does have some stuff that I made back last year. Look how cute that is. I love that. It does have some stuff that I made last year, but the rest of it is like old as the hills. And I am wanting to start on a couple of fall journals. So I've got out some old fall looking ephemera. And then this is some Tim Holtz stuff that is older. And then I'll grab out, you know, a little bit more scraps as far as my bases go. So there's some more there. And I'll get a couple of bigger pieces of scrap. But when I start making tags, now I have this handy dandy tool here. It's a diagonal punch by We Are Memory Keepers. It is a 3-way diagonal punch, and it makes your tag corners. If you don't have anything like that, get a credit card, an old credit card or something like that, or an old store bonus point card of some kind, and snip off the edges. And then use that card on the tops of your tags. So like if this was your business card here, your credit card, old credit card, your old whatever that you would use. So make a deep cut on one side and then make a slimmer cut on the other side. And then when you go to make tags, you figure out which cut you want. So I've got this piece of scrap and I just cut, this is my template if you're wanting to use a template to make tags. There's your template, handmade, and you're just gonna trim off that one, and then you're gonna flip this over, and you're gonna go to the other edge, and you're gonna trim that one off. And then you have 2 corners of your tag that match. There you go. You've got a tag, and you've made yourself a template. Okay? So you can do that, and it's a lot easier when you have a hard piece of plastic like an old store bonus point card or something like that. That works very well. So now we've already got that one with the corners punched on it, or not punched, but cut off on it. And we're just going to keep cutting a few pieces like this. So like this one is too wide for me, so I'm going to kind of cut this in half, and let's go to about here, and we're going to have 2 skinny ones. And then this piece here, I've got that nice squared off side there, so let's go this way. Let's go here, and here. Now we've got a platform for a tag, and we're getting rid of some wonky shaped scrap, and I got plenty of that, plenty of wonkiness. Okay, and I'm going to trim off that point, and then I'm going to trim off that point, and we got a little tiny baby one. Okay, and then this is some of that old, well, older Tim Holtz wallpaper pack. That's what that come out of, and I can get several out of this. That's gorgeous all on its own right there. And then let's go this way. Another gorgeous one. Add some stuff to the other side. And then let's go this way. Got another little baby one. Garbage. It's okay, I give you permission. Throw it in the garbage. This from the other day, where I made those, I printed digitals on those tags. Printed digitals on those envelopes. I've got tags on the brain. So I'm going to cut this off, cut the little white part off the edge. That's a little too much there, Melina. Don't cut off too much. Okay, and then cut this in about half. So let's go there. So I've got 2 more, and let's get a bigger piece of scrap. Ooh, I went way back with this one. We got black and white polka dots, and then we've got some ledger type look to the back there. That has been in my scrap pile for years. Years and years. Okay, there's one. Let's do a fat piece here, and then let's cut 2 bigger ones. So let's go about there, make us 2 wide ones, and we can use either side. So that's how I work whenever I'm starting to cut tags. every shape and size. I don't make any of them the exact same size. And, you know, I've got all kinds of variations. And then I go through and figure out what size of a notch I want at the tops of them. So I like that one. It's not too deep. Let's keep going with that size notch. And I'll even do it on these skinny ones. And then on the super tiny ones, I might just go with this barely a little bit of a, yep. That was actually the biggest one I was doing that one on. So that's like non-existent. Let's go to this one. Yeah, that's better. See? Okay. And then this one, and y'all, I'm wanting to get every one of these that I just cut. I'm wanting to get every one of them done in this video. That's how easy these are. Those took me no time at all to do. So I am very optimistic that I will get every one of these tags done in this video. So there's those. Let's go. We got a itty bitty baby one again. And then this one's small too, so I'm just going to go, yep, I like that. And this one's skinny, so let's go with that one too. But, you know, when you've got one of these punches, it makes life so much more simple. And our manufacturer, we usually carry these at scrapbookingwithme.com, but our manufacturer is on back order with them. Like most places are right now, they just can't keep workers. So they can't manufacture stuff if they don't have any employees. So we're just waiting on them to send us more because we have them ordered. They're all on back order. All right, then what I did is I laid out, let's lay out about 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What I did next, as far as those went, was found whatever die cuts I wanted to use on them, and then made kind of like a little collage. And then I took it, you know, glued it all on, inked it. Then I took it to my sewing machine and did any kind of stitch I wanted on there, or I used my pen and did my own hand-drawn stitches around. And I held this one out because I knew I was getting that old Tim Holtz paper out, and I thought that that went really well with that one. So there's one, and I know that's not fallish, but I just had that out. I thought it went really well. And like I said, I'm wanting to make some fall stuff, and none of this is like true fall look, but we can make anything look fallish if we put our mind to it. So I've just kind of dove into this drawer and trying to figure out what I want on these tags. So like 2 die cuts here, 2 here, there's 3 on this one. Not sure if I'm loving that. And then I want to find something else to go like back behind this one, kind of protruding upward. And I mean, these die cuts came from some of the oldest collections I've had in my stash. I mean, these have been there for years and years. I kind of like that, but that doesn't go along with autumn fun, does it? But that sure does go along with that tag, so maybe we can change out the, that's cute. Mom would love that. Not, she's scared of owls. Let's see if we like that a little bit better, and I do. This right here is the hardest part of this whole thing, is figuring out what die cuts you want to put on there. Alright, I think I have everything on here like I like, and I'm going to use my walnut stain ink and ink around all of my pieces and then glue them on. Then I will ink around the bases of my tags. So first one, I've got this little house and a key and a little circle die cut that says our happy place. And get my glue to start here. And get everything going on that so it can get dry before I go over to my sewing machine, if I decide that that's what I want to do on this one. Okay, let's ink up everything else. And then ink the base of all of them. I'll use my crocodile, the smallest hole on my crocodile, to punch my tag holes at the top for the tassels that I put on. And a lot of these I'm just going to either be using hemp twine, baker's twine, or crochet thread. That's what I used on all of those, just to make it nice and easy. Okay, so there's all of those punched out, and then I'm just going to figure out what I want to do as far as stitching goes, just because I've done that on all of these. And for this one, I think I'm just going to go the drawn line pattern and just go around and make it as unintentional as possible. Don't try to go for perfection. Just make it squiggly, and like the next pass through, make that one even more squiggly on top of that one. So very unintentional, but then by the time you finish, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I see that. Messy lines. That looks good. For these, I'm probably just going to do me some wonky stitching down this way. On this one, I'll just do probably wonky stitching there at the top. Just maybe some stitching right there, and then across the bottom on this one. So I'll be right back. All right, super simple and super wonky, and I'm not worried about that at all. I love wonky, messy stitching, and I'm glad I love that, because that's the only way I know how to stitch. Is wonky and messy. So on this particular tag, I started and ended on the same side so that I could have a little bit of thread to kind of twist together and knot up. I like that off to the side like that. And then I love the tails just hanging from where I did my stitching. Now if you want to trim it off and make it look extra neat, go for it. But yeah, I like the tails to hang off, and I'm okay that I didn't back stitch on a lot of this and that some of it might come unraveled. All that's good. I'm not worried about that. For this one, I want to do some white crochet thread. So I'm just trimming it where I think I'll need it. Let's go ahead and do white crochet thread on this one. And then I'll get out my hemp twine for, let's see, this one and this one, just to give it some contrast. Baker's twine I have here, and no, it does not match it completely. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. But I've got a lot of that I don't know why I got so much of that when I bought it, because that is one that I bought, not what's given to me. And it really matches nothing. So I just need to use it up. And I have used that on one of those up there, and I liked how that looked. And I'm not too particular about things being matchy-matchy. If you've been here any length of time, you already know that. And so then I'm just going to trim that to where it needs to be. I go, as far as my library knot goes, and the reason I call it that is because this is the knot that I would put at the top of a bookmark. So, library knot there. And I start with the loop first, just because I like how that looks. Putting the loop in first, and then putting the loose tails through the loop and pulling through. And of course that tail is extremely too long for that tiny of a tag. There's that one, and then here's this super skinny one. And then hemp twine, if you're working with that, it's a little bit harder to pull through if it's stiff. So you'll just have to work with that a little bit more. And then this one, pull the twine too tight and mess up what you're making. Mess up the top of your tag. So there are 5 tags made in a super duper quick record time. Now let's finish these up. I told y'all I want to do every one of these for this video. So this is some great mass making. Be sure though that you're using older stuff from your stash. Get out that ephemera that you've had for a long time, or if you've got some digitals that's got little images that you've printed out and had printed out for a long time, and you just hadn't done anything with it. I'm raising my hand. I've got a few of those. Get that out and fussy cut those images out and use that on this. I've got these up here, which I know are not fallish, but they were older in my stash and I had them sitting up there. So I've got these. Look at all these we've already made, which I know I did those right before, but I was just making them as prototypes to make sure that this idea all kind of melded together before I showed y'all. Let's see, let's do Itty Bitty Baby, the 2 Itty Bitty Baby ones too. And then we'll just have 1, 2, 3, 4 left. And that will give us a total of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 Come on, Melina, you gotta do 20. Let's do 20 tags. We're gonna do it, y'all. This one actually has some, it looks like snowflakes on there, so we shall see. We're gonna get 20 tags done in this video. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and get my holes punched on these, and that will give me an idea of how much room I've got to decorate. Alright, so those were a little bit easier to get die cuts picked out for. Love these. And like I said on the other ones, these do not have to be matchy-matchy. If I waited on matching everything before I created something, y'all would never get videos. Y'all would never see videos from me because I gave up a long time ago of the idea of living up to everybody else's expectations as far as my crafting is concerned. I craft like I want to, and the way that makes me happy, and that's just how I do. So if anybody's here thinking, oh, that does not match, and why in the world is she putting that with that, and I would never do that, and that's fine. That's fine. You do you. You craft like you want to craft. But yeah, if I waited for everything to match and getting the money to get things that all match and go together and all of that. Now, I love a kit just as much as anybody else does. I love when everything, you know, coordinates together. I love that. But for Scrapbusters, there's not much of that, y'all. Because when you just have scraps lying around, you've got to just put something with it, or it's just going to keep lying around. And y'all know that. So when y'all come to watch Scrapbusters, y'all know what y'all are getting into. It's going to look like a hot mess sometimes. And that's okay too. Because I'm a hot mess sometimes. The majority of the time, I'm a hot mess. But I love this. I did a pile of 5 first, and then the second, I did another pile of 5. Here I am doing another pile of 5, and then I've got one more pile of 5 to do. And I think those are going to be super easy because they've got some beautiful bases going for them. So they might be really, really easy. See some of these. Look at that base. I mean, that's just gorgeous. You don't want to cover up every bit of it. This one, same thing. So instead of gluing stuff down at this very moment, I'm going to knock the stuff off a little bit because these are a little easier as far as how I've got them organized on there. My little clusters of old die cuts and ephemera. Go ahead and ink my bases, and then I will glue everything on there, and we'll figure out what kind of stitching we want to do on them, and figure out what kind of tassel we want to put at the top of them. Okay, this one, super duper simple. I've got this nice little retro tree die cut that, oh my gracious, I can't even remember how long it's been that I've had that, but it's been a long time. And then this little piling up the memories word phrase on top of it. And that's it. that's all she wrote. It's done, son. Then we just got to put a tassel at the top, and we're good to go. Then this little documented word here that kind of looks like a pencil, but it's blue. And this, I think, how I remember this, I don't know, is from an old Simple Stories collection. Like I said, I don't know why I remember that, but it's kind of vivid in my mind that that's what that's from. And then this blue butterfly that doesn't match anything as far as that base goes. There's that one. And then these little hexagons, that is from, do y'all remember Corey, the Reset Girl? That is from one of her little kits, planner kits, I do believe. I still have lots and lots and lots of her stuff when I was more into planners than I am now. So her little hexagons there and bushels of fun arrow at the bottom of it. And then I'm not going to cover up any more of that beautiful tag. And then this fall is calling. Oh, it sure is. When we here in Alabama get an 85-degree day, we're like, oh, it's almost fall. That's how blooming hot it is here. Oh, summer is just unbearably, brutally hot in Alabama. If you've never been to Alabama during the summer, you are a blessed person. And I would advise not visiting during the summer. I know that sounds awful, but it's so blasted hot. I mean, and humidity is like astronomical too. It's just, it's a wet heat, and it's the air you can wear, and it's just miserable. Miserable. I have friends that on Facebook are all the time, oh, summer's here, I just love summer, oh, I love summer, I love summer. No, you don't. You live in Alabama, you don't love summer. Stop it. Just stop it. Ugh. I mean, we've had heat indexes of 112. 112, y'all. So, that's why fall crafts are on my mind. It is time. It is time to do fall. Come on, fall. All right, what I'm going to do is set these aside before we pick out tassels and sewing and all that stuff. I'm going to set these aside, and we are going to finish them in just a minute. Let's add whatever we're wanting onto these. I was trying to figure out, do I want that side? Do I want that side? But I like that side. So we're just going to stick with that. So our last 5 here that will finish out our 20 tags in this video. I am loving that. So let's pick out some little die cuts to go on these. So those were kind of super duper easy to get die cut clusters on. So I think I'm going to do some wonky stitching here and here on those two, maybe some right there on that one. I'm just going to ink, do little hand ink stitching on those. That one also, and that one, and that one, and that one, and then I'll do some wonky stitching across the top on that one. Let's go ahead and do these. So there is the stitching on that one, and then this one, and that one. and that one. Okay, so now I just need to put my tassels at the tops of those. Let's get our black Sharpie and do some hand ink stitching around these. This one I'm just going to do little dash stitching, stitch lines on this one, so super duper easy. Okay, and then a wonky line around this one. Love that. And then let's just do the wonky line around this one too, because this has got some really pokey dotty design on it. So anything that I can do to kind of calm that a little bit works. And if you got something that you can do that's totally different from that, kind of outline, that works. Okay, all the way around on that one a couple of times. I love that. And then the ink on the outside of it, spot on, really good. Okay, this one, let's do those dashes on this one too. The dash stitching, just regular old stitch marks. This one, the pattern is so pretty. Let's not take away from that too much. So it just kind of gives it this little final finished detail when you add some stitching to these tags. But like I said, that's not a requirement for this challenge. I know there are some that can't stitch or do a straight line like that, or there are some that can't do their sewing machine, and that's quite all right. I don't want you to not participate just because you can't do some stitch lines. That's not a deal breaker. So all the way around on this one with some straight lines, and I'm telling you right now, I can't do a straight line to save my life. That's why all of my hand stitching, hand ink stitching that I do is wonky lines. I'm like, yeah, do a wonky line. Of course, that's why I say that, because I can't draw a straight line. Alright, same thing on this one. Wonky line all the way around. And then I just go over it one more time. And I'm not caring if I'm right on top of the other one. Gives it more detail if you're not. Okay, so there's that. And now we need to put on tassels. So I'm going to make a baker's twine pile, and then a crochet thread pile, and a twine pile. So crochet thread, baker's twine, crochet thread, twine, hemp twine, crochet thread, hemp twine. Let's do crochet thread, hemp, and baker's twine, and baker's twine. Okay, so that baker's twine I had out that doesn't really match anything, we're using it up. So there's one 2 and 3. And then hemp, I need 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm just going to do these the exact same way I did those other ones. Going to fold it in half, loop end goes in first, and then I'm going to pull together and pull through the loose ends and see if I need to trim off any on top. That looks good. I'm going to leave that as is. There are those last 10 that I just did. So let's line all these up so you can get a good look at them. And of course I will give you some still shots at the end too. But I love how these have turned out. And they're super, super simple. And it's a great way to use up a lot of scraps and a lot of your older die cuts and stuff. So if you've got a lot of ephemera sitting around that you need to use up, this is a great way to do that. Let's get all of these pretties lined up here, and maybe you'll be able to see all of them. Maybe I can get them all in frame. If not, we might have to back the camera out a little bit. Because we did a bunch of tags today, y'all. Look at that. 20 of them. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love these. I love how they turned out. I love that some of them are busy. Some of them are kind of plain. Even if we wanted to, we could add some more stuff to them once we start putting them into journals or on scrapbook pages or on cards or whatever. Because the things that I make, especially in Scrapbusters videos, you don't have to put them in journals. You can put them on cards. You can put them on like a gift card holder. You can put them on your scrapbook pages, in your planners, whatever you want to do. If you wanted to use one of these as a place marker in your planner, that would be great too. So anyway, just giving you some ideas on an old idea, which is a tag, and making it into something new with older things that you have in your stash. And I hope that I've helped you accomplish that today. If you make some tags of all shapes and sizes with some older ephemera and die cuts and stuff that you've had in your stash for years and years, please tag me with Scrapbusters or Melina Pylant so that I can find you and leave you some love. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. Love ya. God bless. Bye, y'all.